Hey guys, welcome. It's Marcy, the Cranky Crafter. We're going to be working in the nature journal today. Trying to get this video done before the weekend is out so that when the window folks are here putting in the windows, I won't be able to be in here crafting because I'm guessing it's going to be quite noisy. And also I'll have to be keeping track of the dogs because Gidget would go home with anyone, and Ivy could potentially try to be not nice. So I have to manage them accordingly. So I have gone through my pages in here, decided that these two are the ones that we're going to work on. I know it's fall, but I'm going to be doing a spring spread because, well, I didn't get to it in the spring, and also I can do what I want. So we're going to be basing our spread today on some of my zinnias from the garden. So I printed off these pictures of a few that I had in the garden recently. I love them. They're like, how can you not smile when you look at a zinnia? I don't know, because they just make you happy. The colors and just everything about them make you happy. So I have decided that we're going to put background papers on these. It's going to be a double page spread, and I think for this side I'm going to go with this kind of like gingham. Is it gingham? No, I think it's just plaid. What's the difference? I don't know if I know. But I think that's what we're going to do on that side. And then I made some swatches on a book page that we're going to do on this side. It doesn't take up the whole page, but I'm all right with a little bit of graph paper sticking out. Might have to trim some, or I might just leave that little rough bit. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. All right, let's get those glued down before we do anything else, which means I need my glue paper, my glue booklet, and I'm dropping stuff all over the place. Oh boy. Okay. So the husband's getting ready to travel, as you know, if you've been watching the videos, and I'm just getting my glue stick open. Oh, for Pete's sake. He was helping me out here in the craft room this morning. I was trying to rearrange some lighting. I've been trying out different setups. I've been trying out different like phone holders. Guys, there's like no perfect way to do it. At least not when you're on, oh my goodness gracious. You know, at least not when you're not independently wealthy. Let's just put it that way. So, you know, I'm a huge proponent of just trying to use what you got. So we were brainstorming with things, you know, that we already had here at home. And to be honest with you, didn't really find anything that much better than what I was already using. I just really, look, can you see the shadows? I really don't like that, but I just don't know, unless I were to have a fancy dancy setup or my desk was able to be right in front of like my window, which it can't, so that's not an option. I just think this is what we're gonna get. I did get an upgrade a little bit because I swiped his like ring light and changed it out. I have just like a little tiny tripod that sits back there in the back of my desk. And it did just have like a little rectangular light on it. But I swiped his ring light because he wasn't using it anymore. And that's what we got in there now. That's what we got back there now. And I can't say that the lighting is necessarily better than what I had, but it's the way that I'm able to position it makes it so that the light isn't shining right into my eyeballs. And so I can see better what's going on with the screen. Yeah, these are not big problems in the world. Let's just be clear about that. They're just, you know, ridiculous kind of problems, to be honest. All right, okay, well. Nobody can see what I'm doing except me, and I'm having difficulties. Okay, so we got those 2 bits done. Now, I have this little pocket that I made from leftover business envelope that I just, you know, tea-dyed or whatever. So I want to put it here. Full disclosure, I really wanted it this way. Because I think it fits better. And I was planning on, you know, having the pocket up here. Yeah, no, and then when I went to sew it, I got just so into my sewing. Did I pay attention? No. So this is what we got, this size. So we're just going to have to put something this way. It's just a little bit more narrow when it's vertical. You know, it's fine. It's totally fine. So I guess we could glue that if we wanted. Although, yeah, okay, I could glue it. Do I want to glue it? I'm not sure I want to glue it yet. How many times can I say that? So here's the general thing that we're doing. We're going to have that as a pocket. On the front of the pocket, we're going to use our little pictures. But I decided that I would put them on these here little things. These are just little cluster kind of things that I made. I'm going to put them on here like this. Like that. And then I have these little frames from 49 and Market, I think, that I thought we could glue on somehow, like this. It's really windy out there, you guys. Ivy is not going to enjoy that when it's time for our walk. And we have to turn the clocks back. That means it's going to be dark super early. Ugh. So we're going to have that like that. I might have to cut some remnants of that. There's a bunch of these sizes, but I'm using this size. And then you have the middle bit and then all these other frames. These are actually sticky, which quite frankly doesn't really make a difference to me, but maybe if you were using it for something else it would. So that's kind of what we're going with. That. And then I have this little swatch of fabric, and I'm going to go over to the sewing machine. And hypothetically, I'm going to sew a little bit on here and sew a little bit on here to make, you know, like little hinges. And then maybe it will kind of fold together. But then I have to figure out how I'm going to attach it to here. I didn't get that far in the process. Am I going to have to sew it on? If that's the case, I don't want to glue this yet. And that's also going to make my pocket smaller unless I'm talented enough to keep it sewn over here. All right, how about I try to glue this on first? How about we do that first? And I think I'm going to use my art glitter glue for this, because I think it might be a little, I don't know if the glue stick will be enough. Oh, but now, this is what I ran into last time. Do you think double-sided tape will work? Because I'm afraid if I put glue on the picture. Well, we're going to try it. That means I have to get my double-sided tape over here. All right, I got it. So yeah, the husband's getting ready to travel a little bit, and he found out, that's a little bit too big, that he had to extend it a day, which, you know, whatever, but what does that really mean? It means either he has to help me empty out the sunroom, before he leaves, or it means I have to grow some big muscles over the weekend and try to manage it by myself, because once we pull the stuff out of there, that means I don't have my sitting spaces in the sunroom. And can I do that for a full day? Can I be without that for a full day? That's asking a lot. So I haven't decided yet, but whatever the decision is, it has to be made by this evening because he leaves at very early in the AM. I was thinking maybe I could just have him help me take everything out except the little couch. It's a small couch, like it's bigger than a love seat, but oh, well, not as big as, you know, a traditional size couch. But if I do that, I think I'm gonna have to like put towels or something under it, so then I can kind of just like drag it out, because otherwise it will scratch my wood floor all up to no good looking. Okay, I'm gonna try to sew these, so I'll be right back. Okay, well, we got that sewed. That's what it looks like. It's just brown on the back, and I'm okay with that. It's just kind of like craft paper. Now how are we gonna attach it? That's a question. I was thinking this way, but now I'm wondering if I should attach it to this side, and then it can go like that. And then we might just have to like put a clip there to keep it from constantly flipping open. I don't know. We'll deal with that once we get to that point. Oh, it's kind of floppy. Okay, all right, I'm gonna attempt to sew it on this side, which is the opposite of what I was intending. So let's hope it works. I'll be right back. Okay, we did it. And I think we even managed to make it almost the same so that the pocket isn't suffering size-wise. So that can just go like that. What do we think about that? And then we can open it up. Yeah? Okay. All right, good. So I'm going to glue it down. Do I want to Do we want to put, man, I wish I had some of those like real coffee stains, because I feel like maybe that would be fun to have on here, but do I want to use that or just do it like it is? What if we do the other page and think about that and see what it looks like with the other page on? So this side, I have a piece of watercolor paper, and it's gonna go right here. But what we're gonna do is make like, I don't know, just like 3 flowers on here with some stamps that kind of mimic closely to what a zinnia looks like based on what I have in my stash. So that was a limiting factor. But that's my thought, is we would do that on here and then glue it in here. Okay, so let's try it. I have some stamps over here. These are the ones that we're going to use. This one, and this one. Thought we would do one of each. And maybe try to make them close to the same color. That's the what we're thinking maybe. So, you know, I'll put that big one in the middle maybe. And do that like that. And maybe that one down a little bit. Something like that. And then we can draw our own stems. And I have some of our leaves that we can put on it. So let's start with the biggest one. I'm going to use some of the little distress inks. So let's see. This yellow one, we're going to try to do this one. Yellow with like a coral inside in the center. So we're going to use wild honey and abandoned coral. And we've done this technique several times. That does not in any way mean that we're experts. But I'm going to kind of put the coral on the center. And then the yellow bit on the outside. Whoa, that's loud. I think I covered some of it up. So, all right, now we're going to spray it just a bit, not a lot. That might be too much. And then we're going to put it on maybe, maybe like that. I think it's going to be too watery, but it's okay. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Okay, so I'm just going to use some of the color I have left on my stamp and kind of add a little bit. And then I have some of the orange, or like the coral, I guess. I'm just going to kind of make dots on the inside. I have not yet decided. I want a little bit more. If we're going to outline these or not with black. We'll see what we think. Before I started this video, I said I'm going to be really prepared and refill my art glitter glue. Yeah, and I made a huge mess. A right mess is what I made. Oh, brother. It was spilling all over the sides, and apparently I was a little bit overzealous with my pouring action. All right, what's another one we want to do? Next one maybe is like this pink with darker pink. So for that, I have Worn Lipstick and Festive Berries. We'll do the Festive Berries for the center. And Worn Lipstick for the outside. Okay. Light spray. Where do we want to put this one? Maybe like down here. That's cute. It looks pretty much like, whoa. It looks a lot like the samesies. That's okay. I'm gonna put some of this Festive Berries, which is the darker one, on my mat, on my block, and maybe try to drop in a little bit darker, but it's drying quite quickly. Okay. Did you guys do anything for Halloween? You know what I did? I turned my light out and I read my book. That's what I did. It was not nearly as active as it has been in the past years. I can tell you that. Because normally even with the light off, we would have several people still stopping by. Did I answer the door? No, but they would still ring the bell. Okay, now we're gonna do this one. So green with pink in the center. Pink in the center. And then what's this? Crushed olive. Hopefully that's not too dark. All right, maybe down here a little bit. Which doesn't look very green, does it? Looks more yellow. Let's see if we can fix that. I put some on our stamp block. No, it still looks yellow. Doesn't look green. I don't think I have it. I have cracked pistachio. Is that closer? See, it's not what I would think of when I thought of what I needed it to be. Does that make any sense? But here we are. Apparently that's the color I should have used. See if I can bring some in. I don't know about this one, you guys. We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants here. And you know how good I am at that. Yeah, I should have went with that first, I guess. It's fine. It is fine. Let's use a little bit of this. Like that. Okay. All right. Okay. Set those over. It's not exactly, it's definitely got a yellow hint to it, but we're here for it. Okay, did I bring out a fine liner or did I not? We're just gonna make like stems down, and then maybe this one, and that can go like that. And then we have leaves here from our Fodder Friday stuff. So we just need to pick out some. Maybe one like that. Did that one. We need some in the middle. We need little ones. Maybe the little ones need to go up here. Like that? That looks really little. That looks kind of too little. About this one. Though I kind of like how that one bends over, like folds over like that. We could put that one down there and this one like that. It's a big flower with a little leaf. I don't think that's gonna work. Maybe we can put it like that. And then that one can go up there. Yeah? What are we thinking? Do we like that? Well, that's what we're going with. Okay. Do they look at all like zinnias? Jury's still out on that. Put one like that. And we do that like that. I think we do need to outline it. That's my thought. Wait, how do we have this? Like that? And then this little one. It's a very little one. That's a very little one. Okay? And then that's going to go there. You can't see that. It's completely out of the frame. That's going to go like that. Yeah, that's all right. It's not fully dry yet. Maybe we should work on the other side now again, while that dries. What did we decide about the rings? Do we want some? I think we do. want it in, yeah. I think I want it in brown, not black. Okay. Okay. I have this archival ink potting soil. And I'm just gonna put maybe just a little bit. And I have a little baby one. I got little baby strings. I think we need okay. How's that? I don't like that one I just put there, but it's there now. We can't have everything. Okay. All right, so now I think we can glue that in. Yeah? Glue this. Do it like that. It's fairly centered. Fairly centered. Okay, now let's see. I gotta stand up and see where we're at on time. Oh, not too bad. So while this is still drying, so that we can use our fine liner on the flowers, I have I need that out. I have this little, it was from like a greeting card, but look, it's got what reminds me of a zinnia on there. And the color that it should have been. So I thought we could make a tag from that so that the little zinnia popped up on the top. So I'm gonna get my paper cutter out. And do you think there's any measuring going on? Absolutely not, because what's the fun in that? And I usually screw it up every time because I don't measure. But that's where we're at. It needs to be a little bit smaller. That's how I measure. And I say, it needs to be just a little bit smaller, Marcy. And then usually what happens is Marcy makes it too much of whatever I'm trying to do. Yeah, I think I could cut a little bit off the end, off the bottom. And then it'll slide in there. I think I could make it a little bit thinner. Oh boy, that's making me nervous. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, yeah, all right. Put that away. So now we're gonna make some corners. Yeah. Can you guys hear that wind? It's crazy. And then I just use that bit to make the other corner. Like that. Get rid of those. There's our tag. Isn't it cute? Okay, so for the back, I'm just gonna, I think, stamp out zinnia. And then I looked up what zinnias mean, like what they symbolize, how they used them in, you guys know, like back in the Victorian era. I think it's era. They would use flowers for like, as like language, right? And so this one is friendship, lasting affection, endurance, and daily remembrance. So I want to do zinnia on the top, maybe. Do we want a big one? Big Z? Do you think it's going to fit if I do a big one? We'll find out. And then I'm going to use my little ones. Okay, so we're going to do Z, I, N, I, A. Like that. Oh yeah, cute. What did I do with the ink pad, you guys? Oh, here it is. Okay, so we're going to do zinnia or zinnia. How do you pronounce it? Sean's grandma, my husband's grandma, used to call them zinnies. Okay, and I thought we could use a little asterisk. You guys know that it's asterisk? For the longest time, I thought it was asterisk. Asterisk. Because that's what it sounded like when people were saying it. But that's not right. Okay. Now, friendship. Now, I have absolutely dreadful handwriting, and it's very closely resembles probably like what a serial killer would look like if they were writing. So bear with me. Friendship. Okay. And then lasting affection. When you guys were learning how to, do your handwriting and stuff at school, did you find that you always like slanted up or down? I, for some reason, always feel like I went up. I don't know why. Endurance. Or did you totally like nail it and you've never had an issue? Because I have a girlfriend that writes like absolutely amazing. I admire her penmanship. She was probably just born like that. No, she wasn't. I think she practiced a lot. Daily remembrance. So therein lies the issue, right? She practiced a lot. Maybe she didn't. But if she did, therein lies the issue, because I rarely practice. Okay, let's just do like a border maybe around. You know, if I want it to get better, I should practice. I did for a bit. I had like notebooks going and I practiced. And then, like most things, it just kind of stopped happening. Without even really making, you know, the decision to stop. It just kind of stopped. And here we are. All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make a hole, punch a hole. First, I'm gonna put this where I think the hole should go. Nope. Think the hole should go there. Oh, brother. Not bad. All right, let's do, oh, look what I have. Look it. I got it from the husband from the garage. It used to have sprinkler parts in it, but now it has all kinds of fun little doodads in there. No more sprinkler parts, because I took it. Yes, I did. He wasn't using it. So I said, let me give you a better life. Oh, dropping stuff. Okay. Oh, this is long. Okay, hurry up, Marcy. We want like a little something. What do we want? No. This one? It needs to kind of match. Pink? Green. I don't really have something that's yelling at me that wants to be. You know what? I have a big mess over here. That's what. That's what's what. Let's see if I can. It's fine. I was gonna rip it, but clearly I didn't do it right. How do you know which side is like the ripping side? Does that make sense? Because sometimes I'll cut into it and I can rip it, and other times, no. It's not happening. And that tells me that it's user error. That's what it tells me. I don't know if this is going to fit through here, you guys. Oh, this is going to be a little bitty one. Because now I'm feeling rushed because this video is long. I'm almost at 600. So look how little that is. Oh boy. Okay, it's fine. I can change that out easily if I want to. There's that. Okay, let's see how this is. We're almost done, I promise. I promise. Where did I put my pen? Here it is. What was I saying? Oh, we're almost at 600 subs, you guys, which is awesome. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Invite your friends. Maybe they want to watch some crafting videos. You think? And I'll do like this. The more the merrier is what I say. We're just doing like loose pin. That's it. Just to give it some texture. And maybe I'll do a little bit inside here like that. And now we're on to the green one. That's not the right green, but we're embracing it. Did you guys like the hedgehogs? They were so funny. I made a short on them, and they were so funny to see them. Because you know when you make shorts, you kind of have to use like, it's the only time I ever do any kind of editing, because you have to shrink it down. Or rather, I prefer them to be shrunk down so it looks really fast forward. And it was very funny to see them going in fast forward. Super speed. All right, there's that. Now we just have to glue it on. But you know what I think? I think it needs some splatters. But do I have a color that's gonna go? I don't know. One of these, think? Maybe this green. Yeah, that's nice. And then maybe, maybe the pink. Okay, that's good. We did it. All right, so this is gonna get glued in here, but do I want to sew it? I think I do. Okay, hang on real fast. Okay, we're back. We just have to glue this in. But I have a question. So I was watching another gal on the YouTubes, and she was saying that whenever you pause your video, it goes to an ad for the people who are watching. Does that happen? Because I really don't know. I don't really know about ads because we do like the premium service, so we don't see ads when we watch things on YouTube. But I know not everybody does that. But at the same time, I don't think I have enough like I haven't met the benchmarks I thought in order to have ads, but I don't know. So let me know below how it affects you when I go on pause. Not that I'm gonna be able to avoid going on pauses, you know, in the foreseeable future, but I'm curious to know. And can you like fast forward through them? Like inquiring minds. Okay, all right. Super long video. Thank you, thank you. Hopefully you stuck with it. But here we are. Here's what we got. Oh, for Pete's sake. What's going on? I got it stuck in the glue. Oh. All right. This is what we have. That was a little bit chaotic. Got this little flippy outy thing. I might have to put a clip. I don't know. And then we have our zinnias that we made on this side and our little tag. I think it turned out cute. Yeah? What do you guys think? Let me know. Please like, subscribe, help a gal out, and I'll see you guys next time.